Hey everyone, welcome back to the Hot Mess Express. It's your girl, Samsararose. And tonight, whatever time you're watching, I'm gonna talk about a couple weeks ago, I went and saw a psychic. Now, it's my second time seeing her. So I figured I was gonna do a little glam. Don't know how glam you're gonna get. Probably not too much, because I don't put the most effort into things I do. And talk about what she's told me. And then I'm gonna kind of compare what she said my first visit, which was a couple years back, and things that did actually happen that she said, compare it to what she's told me now. And then I don't know, I guess a couple months, give me an update if it happened or if anything she said was actually real. But yeah, so we're gonna get into it. All right, so I don't think I should say who she is or where she is, because she seems kind of private. When you go there, you're not allowed to record and take pictures, but you can have someone go in and write for you, or you can write your stuff down yourself. My best friend Nikisha and me go together. We're supposed to go more, but I always have 1,000 things and have to tell her no, and then she gets mad at me. But anyway, so we've gone together both times I've went. And so the first time, you go in and it's kind of connected to her house, and I didn't know what the heck I was gonna expect, what this lady was gonna look like. It was gonna be stereotypical. She was going to have a crystal ball and jewels and glam, mucho mucho amor, Walter. I don't know if she was gonna be like that, or what her age, if she's gonna be young or old. I wasn't really sure. So you go in and it's like a room. It's not that big. I don't know dimensions, so you're not getting them. And it's a little couch and a table, has all this shelving, and it has books and different decor on it and stuff. And there's a couple books on the table that you can read about your name, and I think it's your sign. So, and then her friend, I believe it's her friend, you give her the payment, and then you kind of wait. So we go in, we're sitting there, and I'm like, okay, what do I do? I had things in my head. I'm I wonder if she's gonna know about. So we go in this little door, and she is this, I'm 5'1", 5'2". I believe I'm 5'1" now, because I've shrunk. I'm shorter than my friends that I used to be taller than. And she's shorter than me, so she's, I want to say 4'11", 4'10". She has a reddish hair, and it's your typical, I want to say she's in her 60s or 70s, but she's older. And she's soft-spoken, and you can't wear perfume or anything in there because it can affect her allergies or whatever. And so you go in, and there's a table and her chair, and then there's a chair for you and a chair if you bring your friend in. And then over, there's a door, I think, to go out back of her house. And then I think it's a fan over on the yonders. So I sit down, I'm okay. So, ma'am, I don't know what to do. I psych myself out for these things, first of all. But see, the first time I went, I went in place of someone, and I don't think she had my name to begin with. So someone's she can look you up on social media. When I tell you this lady still uses a landline, I don't think she would even know how to do any of it. Just go in, she asks your name, and then she has a stack of playing cards that she uses. So she has a stack of playing cards, and she's and she kind of mix them to you, and then she flips one card out to you. And I don't remember the first card I got. I really don't. But then she has you shuffle them, and I'm sitting there I do not know how to shuffle cards. So I'm literally doing little kid big chunk flip, trying to shuffle. That lady's probably looking oh god. So I hand it back, and she starts flipping them, and I don't remember exactly everything from my first time, and I had a paper with everything that happened, but I left it in the trunk of a car that we sold. And basically, at the first thing she said to me, it was asked if I had a friend that had passed from an injury, and it was. And like she kind of said how it happened, and it was then I was like kind of like you know, crying like, oh my god, how'd she know? But I wasn't like sobbing, because like I don't want people to know like I cry, because like that's tough girl stuff. You don't talk about that. So like we're in there, and she says a couple things about my friend that passed, and I'm like, yeah girl, that's it, like you knew. And told me like they leave me dimes and stuff like that, which I always thought was weird, because like my mom and grandma always told me when my pap had passed, like, oh, he'll leave you pennies. So like we all like to put pennies on his gravestone. I think it's more of like a coping thing for us per se, but still if I find a penny I'm like, oh, my grandpa's. So that also got me, because it was the coin thing. And then she told me, like, because I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life at the time. I was still working at Sephora, and I kind of told her, I said at one point I want to own my own business, and I want to still continue to do makeup and do my thing. And she's like, I can see you being a hairdresser. And I was like, no sis, I thought about it. So I'm not saying that she predicted, because I am a hairstylist now, but like I feel like almost she was a motivation, like, you know what, she sees me doing this, so I'm gonna do it. And did that. And then a couple other things she predicted, and it's weird, this is from the first and the second time I think she said this, that I would have 4 kids. Now I only have my daughter. We've had issues like trying to conceive before and have more. I'm also always in a point in my life like, I don't know if we can handle a baby, like just get another dog. So now I have a lot of animals. And she always says like, I see 2 yours, 2 adopted. Well, we finally got our foster license, so I'm hoping that's coming soon. But so she says these things, and she gets me like real in my mind, like, okay, like, so almost like, is it like she's predicting it, or is she like motivating me in a sense? And at that time, me and Anthony, we were engaged for about 2 years at the time, and she told me like, he's a good guy, he's the one, you should definitely marry him. Well, that's coming up in like 104 or 5 days, so still getting married. And my grandma was still alive the first time, and I asked her like, how do you predict her future? And she said she's going to get really sick during the holidays. Leggings are gonna be like, what's gonna happen? And then she'll come back and be better, but when she goes, it's gonna happen fast. You're not gonna expect it. And that Christmas, my grandma did end up getting really sick. Like, we all were kind of worried. That's something I really thought that was it. But we ended up getting blessed with another 2 years with her. And when she did pass, it was almost like a week, just like I went from like talking to her to she just like, what, was just gone. And like, I think about that, like, she just kind of knew. And which some people say like she could have just guessed, which is true, but I don't think personally, I think she knew. So there was that. So like, you know, after my grandma stuff, I definitely like, I don't know, I just believe this lady, and I just think she's legit. So there's a couple other things, but I really don't remember. So my second time around, Nikisha just texts me and she's like, we're going. Okay, girl. So we make our appointment, and same thing, we get there, you know, we're in the room like waiting, and now she's always kind of late, which works with me because I'm also kind of late. No, I'm always late, but so we're waiting, we go back, and I go first, and this time I do the same thing. I shuffle the cards. I got the Queen of Hearts because I'm a queen. So she's flipping through the cards, like just like slapping these things on the table, like slap, 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 and then just like spitting it. So Nikisha's like, freaking, who was like a famous, like, what were they called? You talk and they're like George Washington. It was Alexander Hamilton, wasn't? No, he wasn't one of those. I just watched Hamilton, so he's just in my head. So she's writing, and she's like, so what do you want to ask me? And I'm like, what do you want to tell me? Okay, I didn't do that. But I was like, so I'm supposed to get married this year. Coronavirus. And as soon as I say coronavirus, she's like, hey, that's going to be over by November 5th. it'll be gone. So I'm like, okay, well, I get married Halloween, so that's a little too late for me, but thanks. And she told me that she can sense I was stressing over my wedding, which of course I am, because do I have a big wedding and risk everyone getting sick, or do I have something small and then push everything off next year and then I feel like I don't get like an actual experience? But then in my mind, I'm like, wow, Samantha, you're being selfish. People are dying and you're worried about if you can on a real one. So by the time of the wedding, things should be okay. But we need to get married this year regardless, which was my plan. Like, either way, so either way, I was like, I'm marrying him. Like, we've been engaged for 5 years, together for 9. Like, of course I'm marrying him. This is it. And then she said, but I can see your reception being next year, August to September. Because I said, and it was weird because I said, if I have to move my reception, I'm not going to put it on Halloween again. Like, I'm not going to take 2 Halloweens from people, because, you know, I think that's a more important holiday than Christmas, because everyone gets, I don't know, Halloween brightens everyone's spirits. And because your spirits are coming out. And so I'm like, okay. And then she told me I needed to do a honey color for my hair. And I know it's because she don't like my bright hair. So listen, psychic woman, I'm not changing my hair color because you don't like it. I don't believe that. I'm not doing a honey color. Honey now. My hair will be not yellow, but it might be. I don't know yet. Depends on how things go. But anyways, I was like, okay, honey color. She asked to see a picture of Anthony, so I made him hurry up and send me one, because all the pictures on my phone are him being ridiculous. Which maybe that was the one I should have showed her, because he is ridiculous. So then she says she can just tell he is a good person, and that he is not a cheater. And let me tell you, never in my life would I ever have to worry about him cheating, ever. Unless, like, Rihanna came down and said, Anthony, you're the one. That would be the only time in my life I would lose my man. And I would be okay with that, because who wouldn't be? And then she said Anthony is a people person, and he is. Like, he's more outgoing than he makes himself out to be. Like, he still talks to most of his friends. I leave my friends on read. Sorry, ladies and gents. So then she brings up the kids again, and she goes, you have a little one, right? And which I know she remember. Like, she's like, you have a little one. I was like, yeah, I do. She ain't a little anymore. And she said, she like looked at me. She goes, is she Anthony's? And I'm like, girl, yeah. And she's like, you know, I feel like are you adopting? And I was like, that's the plan, sister. And she goes, I see you having 4 kids, 2 your own, 2 adopted again. I'm like, yeah, girl. Once again, you're right, I'm hoping. And then she asked me like how my career was going, and I said, you know, I'm just kind of stuck. Like, I don't know what to do. Like, eventually I do want my own salon. That's always been my goal. But I really like where I work right now. Easygoing, chill environment. And she said that, yeah, like, go ahead, you need to do it. Open your own salon. And I'm like, sister. And she goes, you know, I see if you open your own salon, you need to hire a barber, because you need to be inclusive. And I'm like, sister, Anthony's going to become a barber. Like, oh, how'd you know? And our goal has always been inclusivity. Like, I want anyone to walk in there and be like, absolutely, I can do your hair. Absolutely, you are accepted. You are loved. You are cherished. Do not be afraid to shine, baby. You are bright, 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 bright. And she's like, and then she agreed. She's like, yeah, I can tell. And she's like, you just need to do it. And I said, yeah, well, the push for him to go to barbering school, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, yeah, he needs to do it. Once again, he's a people person. He'll be great at it. I'm like, all right. So I get him, like, Anthony, the psychic said you have to. Like, if you don't, you're ruining my future. And so now, hopefully, he's going this fall. which once again might have just been like when she told me I was gonna be a hairstylist, like was that the push I needed? Maybe it was. Oh, I'm getting a lot of fault. This blend's really good. Okay, naked. I see you. I didn't even ask her this, but she was like, you're gonna lose 23 pounds, and I'm like, okay, thank you. Which I think it's because I have been put on thyroid medication, and I have been losing weight from it, and maybe that's what maybe I'll lose 23 pounds. If I do, then all right, cool with it. But now I'm thinking in my mind, like, I need to work out, lose 23 pounds. But she didn't say it in a rude way, so I don't want people to be like, no, not in any sense. But I was just like, okay, thank you. And then she's like, there's a past person you still love. And I'm like racking my brain like, no, there's not. Like, when I close my eyes, there is not one person that I have dated in my past that I miss enough to go back to. But I'm like, maybe then once again, she brings up my friend that passed away, and it makes sense because I do think about them the most, and I do love them deeply, and it is like a past love, but not in the sense you think, but that's who is always, like, every once in a while, I'm like getting married, I'm like, oh, wish they could be there. My daughter doing stuff, like, oh, wish they could be there. Like, oh, it's something like when your friend passes, it's like you've read an amazing book and then you lose that book and you never get to finish that story, and you're like, damn, I'll never know now, like, what's gonna happen. And that's kind of like how and then I think that's my take on it, because there really is no one that I'm like, sure wish I was with them. Nope. All those ships left the harbor, crashed at sea, no survivors. None. So then I ask her, I'm like, girl, I'm trying to like sell my house. I need a new house. I need more room. I need a baby. I need room for my legs. And she was like, okay, yeah, like you are gonna get a new house, but you're not leaving the state soon. And freaking Nikisha is gonna go, oh yes. And I'm like, because I want to move out of Ohio, but like, guess I'm not. But we are gonna get a new house, which I hope. So we are working our asses off fixing this house up to sell. And she told me, like, you need to redo your house. Like, you need to paint things, you need to fix things. Like, do it. Get in there, get it done, get it ready to go. Hit the market. But yeah, when she said not leaving the state soon, a little piece of me died with that. Just a little piece of me. Why can't I leave Ohio? Like, what's in Ohio that I need? Nothing. I don't even got good bugs here. Like, I don't even got, like, cool bugs to see. Like, I get one big moth. Maybe a freaking mantis. Cool. Guess I have my friends, but we can FaceTime. So, yeah, she says, like, we're not no state, not moving, leaving Ohio. Now I'm back to depression once again. And then she says that she sees that my daughter is struggling, and Tao has been a little bit in school and stuff, adjustment and change is hard on someone. She was 6 in school, she just turned 7, so like a little bit of a change for her. And then when she switched schools, like, both schools are so different. And I will say the school she's in now, I think they put a little bit more attention for the kids. There's some teachers, I don't know, but they definitely take the time to, like, understand, like, what's going on, where they're struggling and stuff, which I appreciate, because she does have some things that, whatever, like, all kids have something. And she told me, I was like, I just don't know what to do, like, do I do this or that? And she said, yes, like, you need to get her a tutor, like, sit down, break things down for her a little bit better, like, but she's gonna thrive. Like, once we really switch things up a little bit, it's really going to help her. So now I'm like, okay. So we have been doing different things, and so she has been doing a lot better. And once again, I don't know if that was like her predicting the future, or if it was just like a motivational push that, like, I personally needed. And sometimes I think, even if you don't believe in psychics, like, just having that person that's going to tell you, like, yeah, like, you need to do this, like, your friends can tell you so much, but when you have, like, an outside source reassure you on things that you need, it does mean so much more. And you do, like, I thrive on that because I'm like, okay, like, she doesn't know exactly everything in my life to judge me, but her telling me, like, yeah, you need to do this. Like, all right, sis, we gonna do it. And then she brought up my grandma and said that she's always with my daughter or, like, with her great grandkids, which is definitely true because my grandmother was the best grandma. Like, I know everyone says it about their grandmas, but I'm serious. I had the world's greatest grandma, and she did everything for, like, me, my brother, and even some of our friends. Like, everything she possibly could for us. And, like, we were spoiled kids because of her. And then once my brother had his two and I had my daughter, it was like me and my brother were just like, don't need you no more. And her whole life became our kids. And when she said that, I was like, that's 100% definitely true, because she definitely put them before any of us. I guess that's like the most you can hope, is like she is with them. So that made me feel a bit better. And then she kind of started talking about my grandma's house, which was not ever an issue in my family, but it definitely was like, it caused like a little bit of a stir. Just gonna help take care of my uncle, and we thought, oh, okay, we're gonna have to sell our house and move in there. And then her house, while it was nice and a decent size, has no yard. I mean, she really didn't need a yard. And I have animals, I have my doggies. So we were like, oh, we're gonna have to sell her house. So at one point, that was something, like, we looked at houses, blah, 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 but my uncle really just did not, I don't think, wanted to leave, which I don't blame him. That house is set up for him. Like, he's in a wheelchair, things are in there the way they should be for him. So it kind of ended up us going back. My brother and my dad stepped up and we just all switched places. But my grandma, my grandma said that she wanted the house to stay in the family, but if something comes up, she's okay with whatever happening as long as we're okay. Like, as long as we're not arguing and fighting about it, which, if you know my grandma, that's her 100%. She would get, if any of us argued, she would be like in turmoil. Like, no, Gram's like, me and Mikey just gonna fist fight outside real quick, come back in, we'll be fine. She always just freaked out over that stuff, but she also thrived on that drama, so, like, don't get it twisted. Claude was all about the drama. But so I was kind of like, okay, that does give me reassurance, in case one day my uncle does want to move and, like, he does want to go somewhere. Like, he always talked about moving to Virginia, like, go for it, uncle. So I was like, okay, that's cool. But she did tell us that we could start looking for a house, and to make sure, like, start looking, but, like, don't jump into anything too soon. Okay, so then she told me that, like, I was doing too much at once. And sorry, I had to do my liner off camera because no. So she told me, like, you're doing too much. Like, you're trying to sell your house, trying to adopt some kids, you're trying to get married, like, you're trying to move places. Stop, like, enough. And that wasn't even like a psychic standpoint. That was like ma'am, stop it. Like, calm down. But, like, I've always kind of been like that, I guess. Like, on the go, ready to roll, I guess. I don't know. I cut my lashes too long, but that's okay. I look insane. I feel like these lashes are just too long. Oh well. Okay, so this is just like a side note, not like a psychic note. See how, like, these ones are so long? I feel like look stupid, so I, like, cut them shorter. I feel like it looks better. I don't know if you can really tell the difference, but I made these ones shorter. And these ones are still really long, so I'm gonna go fix the other one. But yeah, that was kind of like everything with me. The only thing she didn't do that she did last time was she's supposed to read your palm, and she didn't read mine, so I was kind of like, okay. But when Nikisha sat down, and now I'm not gonna be talking about what Nikisha said or what's going on in her life because that's her business. She, like, immediately called out one of her back problems, and she was like, you have, like, 3 broken, misplaced something. And like, that's right. Like, how'd you know? And it was so weird for her to say that. We both were like, oh my god. So I'm like, right, and Keisha's like, yes, your back is broke. And yeah, that's about it. It was definitely an experience, and I recommend at least just going and seeing one and seeing how you feel about it. Like, everyone feels a little different about these things. I know some people won't because of religious beliefs or whatever. I just think it's worth it to go and try. Like, the worst that's gonna happen is it's fake. Like, okay. But I definitely think the one we see does have a little bit of a connection, and things she has said have come true. So I guess November 5th, if COVID's over, then she's the real deal, and we better just put her in charge of the world. And if it doesn't, then I'm gonna ask her why I did it again. Maybe. But yeah, that was about all of my psychic journey. I go back in October. She said as long as I'm not too busy, so thanks for that, queen. And I definitely probably will go back in October just to like see how she feels about like everything and what is gonna come next for me, because it's like every July, August, September, every 3 months you're supposed to go. So I'm gonna try and stick with doing it and just like reporting back like, hey, my 3-month psychic visit, this is what it is. But this makeup look turned out darker than I thought it would, but I don't hate it. I love it. Matches my shirt. I'm just putting my boobs out here for y'all, but my best friend makes these, custom makes everything. She don't have a link to a page, but it's the best. And as soon as she gets her own page up and running, I will be posting that link all the time. She makes all my custom stuff. It's great. She's worth the price. Let me just tell you, she is just worth it. But yeah, I figured to get a better shot of the shirts she makes. She hand bleaches them, distresses them. I have powder all over it. Sorry, Wit. I said I want a dare to keep kids off drugs shirt. She found a design. She made it for me. I feel really awkward talking just with my body in here because I'm not body positive. I am for everybody else, not for myself, so don't get it twisted. But yeah, they're really cute. They're nice. They're like a good material. Look, I'm in my night pants. But yeah, they definitely, and they fit well. They do fit well. So hit her up for some shirts when she gets a link. But until then, you can creep her through my socials and I'll help you place an order. But yeah, that's it. And then have fun, be safe. Coronavirus is real, it's happening. Don't be an ass, wear your mask. Don't be an ass, wear your mask. Don't be an ass. Please wear your mask. If you can't wear your mask, social distance. That's all. That's just social distance at least. Like, social distance should be a thing beforehand anyways. But anyways, yeah. Thanks for tuning in. Until next time.